Congratulations on making it to the middle of the week. I'm Alan, and today, yes, more details from the ongoing Microsoft FTC trial, Final Fantasy XVI sales numbers, and a possible remaster of a beloved open-world Western game. I wonder what game that could be. There's been so many. This is your Daily Fix. Let's roll it. It's no secret that developing a huge blockbuster AAA game is an expensive endeavor. But game developers and publishers haven't exactly been open to revealing their budgets to the public, unless they're in a major trial with the US government and details like a game's budget is part of the evidence being submitted. In partially redacted documents that have been included with Microsoft's ongoing trial against the Federal Trade Commission, Sony tried to hide from the public just how much it cost to make The Last of Us 2 and Horizon Forbidden West. And the magic numbers are $220 million and $212 million respectively. So how do we know those figures if Sony redacted those parts of the documents? Well, enhance!
Enhance 224 to 176.
It's possible that a paralegal at whatever law firm Sony has on retainer was tasked with redacting those numbers, but they did it with a pen that still let some of the original print underneath show through when the document was scanned. Zoom in close.
Enhance. Stop.
Yeah, get real close and you'll see it. It's a little tough to make out, but that's almost definitely $212 million for Horizon Forbidden West and $220 million for The Last of Us Part 2. Keep in mind that just like the movie business, this does not include marketing costs. So to actually make, market, and ship high-profile AAA games, it costs about as much as an Avengers movie. The document also lists how many full-time employees at peak headcount worked on the games, which, if we're deciphering the document correctly, looks to be about 300 employees for Horizon Forbidden West and 200 for The Last of Us Part 2. It kind of puts things into perspective when you consider huge indie hits like Stardew Valley that was made by one guy with the tiniest fraction of the budget the big guys get. Not saying it isn't worth it to spend the money and hire all that talent, it's just crazy to get a peek behind the curtain and see how different things are from game to game. Anyway, the trial will be continuing throughout the week, so stay tuned to IGN for the latest developments. In kinda sorta related news, Final Fantasy XVI sold a ton of copies. Congrats, Square Enix. Specifically, they sold more than 3 million in its first week. This includes physical and digital sales for the PS5 exclusive. There is one caveat though. According to GameIndustry.biz's Christopher Dring, UK sales for the physical copy of Final Fantasy XVI are 74% lower than those of Final Fantasy XV. But the game still managed to be the top video game sold during this week, so it's pretty obvious that digital sales are pulling most of the weight there. So, how are Final Fantasy XVI sales numbers related to the Microsoft trial? Well, Microsoft strongly considered buying Square Enix not too long ago. In yet another internal document now made public because of the FTC lawsuit against Microsoft, the company laid out its case as to why they should pursue an acquisition of the storied Japanese developer and publisher. The document from 2019 lists several reasons for the purchase, including bolstering Xbox's presence in Asia, where Xbox has struggled ever since the original Xbox days, and to gain access to Square Enix's library of games, including Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts. Xbox would hope that they might help bring people to Game Pass and the Xbox Series family of consoles. Another interesting tidbit, buying Square Enix might have boosted, quote, mobile segment growth for Xbox by providing, quote, future mobile exclusive Game Pass offerings. One of Game Pass's perks is that some of the games are available to play on mobile devices via cloud streaming, with progress being shared between mobile and console. We're not sure how far Microsoft got in these internal discussions about buying Square Enix, but maybe somewhere in the multiverse, those Final Fantasy XVI sales were bringing a little coin to Xbox. And finally, we may be getting a Red Dead Redemption remaster in the near future. As spotted by Idle Sloth on Twitter, South Korea's Game Rating and Administration Committee listed Red Dead Redemption with a rating of 18, their equivalent of an M rating here in the US. But what's curious is that it's a separate entry than the 2010 Red Dead Redemption and the 2018 sequel. While this is definitely not enough to say officially that a remaster is coming, but the South Korean Games Rating Board has been the source of accurate leaks in the past, like the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 remaster. Publisher Rockstar Games hasn't said anything about it, so we'll keep an eye out for any possible announcements. Also, I'm hoping this possible re-release includes the Undead Nightmare, because that was great. And that's your Daily Fix for Wednesday, June 28th. I'm Alan Wheeler, and if you're looking for something else to watch, check out why we think Final Fantasy XVI is just Game of Thrones, or yesterday's Fix episode on even more details from the Microsoft trial. And for the latest gaming news, stay right here on IGN.